A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. O mankind, fear your Lord, for the convulsion of the hour of judgment will be a thing terrible. The day you shall see it, every mother giving suck shall forget her suckling babe, and every pregnant female shall drop her load unformed. Thou shalt see mankind as in a drunken riot. You're not drunk, but dreadful will be the wrath of God. And yet among men these are such as dispute about God without knowledge, and follow every evil one, obstinate in rebellion about the evil one. It is decreed that whoever turns to him for friendship, him will he lead astray, and he will guide him to a penalty of the fire. Of mankind, if you have a doubt about the resurrection, consider that we created you out of dust, then out of sperm, then out of a leech-like clot, then out of a morsel of flesh, partly formed and partly unformed, in order that we may manifest our power to you, and because whom we will to rest in the wombs for an appointed term, then do we bring you out as babes and foster you, that you may reach an age of full strength, and some of you are called to die, and some are sent back to the feeblest old age, so that they know nothing after having known much. And further thou seest the earth barren and lifeless, but when we pour down rain on it, it is stirred to life, it swells, and it puts forth every kind of beautiful growth in pairs. This is so because God is a reality. It is He who gives life to the dead, and it is He who has power over all things. And verily the hour will come. There can be no doubt about it, or about the fact that God will raise up all who are in the graves. Yet there is among men such a one as disputes about God without knowledge, without guidance, and without a book of enlightenment, disdainfully bending his side in order to lead men astray from the path of God. For him there is a disgrace in this life, and on the day of judgment we shall make him taste the penalty of burning fire. It will be said, this is because of the deeds which thy hand sent forth, for verily God is not unjust to his servants. There are among men some who serve God as it were on the verge. If God befalls them, they are therewith well content, but if a trial comes to them, they turn on their faces. They lose both this world and the hereafter, that is lost for all to see. They call on such deities besides God as can neither hurt nor profit them, that is straying far indeed from the way. Perhaps they call on me one whose hurt is nearer than his profit, evil indeed, in the patron and evil the companion for help. Verily God will admit those who believe and work righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rich rivers flow, for God carries out all that he plans. If any think that God will not help him, his apostle in this world and the hereafter, let him stretch out a rope to the ceiling and cut himself off, then let him see whether his plan will remove that which enranges him. Thus have we sent down clear signs, and verily God doth guide whom he will. Those who believe in the Quran, those who follow the Jewish scriptures and the Sabians, the Christians, Magians, and polytheists. God will judge between them on the day of judgment, for God is witness of all things. Seest thou not that to God bow down and worship all things that are in the heavens and on earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the hills, the trees, the animals, and a great number among mankind, but a great number are also such as are fit for punishment, and such as God shall disgrace. None can raise to honour, for God carries out all that he wills. These two antagonists dispute with each other about their Lord, but those who deny their Lord, for them will be cut out a garment of fire over their heads. Will be poured out boiling water. With it will be scalded what is within their bodies as well as their skins. In addition, there will be maces of iron to punish them. Every time they wish to get away therefrom anguish, they will be forced back therein, and it will be said, taste you the penalty of burning. God will admit those who believe and work righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow. They shall be adorned therein with the bracelets of gold and pearls, and their garments there will be of silk. So they have been guided in this life to the purest of speech, as they have been guided to a path of him who is worthy of all praise. As to those who have rejected God and would keep back men from the way of God and from the sacred mosque which have made open to all men, equal as a dweller there and a visitor from the country, and any whose purpose therein is profanity or wrongdoing, then them will be caused to taste of a most grievous penalty. Behold, we gave a sight to Abraham of the sacred house, saying, associate not anything in worship with me, and sanctify my house for those who compass it round, or stand up or bow, or prostrate themselves there in prayer, and proclaim the pilgrimage among men. They will come to thee on foot, and mounted on every kind of camel, and lean on account of journeys through deep and distant mountain highways, that they may witness the benefits provided for them, and celebrate the name of God through the days appointed over the cattle which he has provided for them for sacrifice. Then eat ye thereof, and feed the distressed ones in want. Then let them complete the rites prescribed for them, perform their vows, and again circumambulate the ancient house. Such is the pilgrimage. Whoever honours the sacred rites of God, for him it is good in sight of his Lord. Lawful to you for food in pilgrimage are cattle, except those mentioned to you as exceptions, but shun the abomination of idols, and shun the word that is false, being true and faith to God, and never assigning partners to him. If anyone assigns partners to God, he is as if he had fallen from heavens and been snatched up by birds, or the wind had swooped like a bird, or its prey, and thrown him into a far distant place. Such is his state, and whoever holds in honour the symbols of God and the sacrifice of animals, such honour should come truly from truly piety of heart. In them you have benefits, for a term appointed in the end. Their place of sacrifice is near the ancient house. To every people did we appoint rites of sacrifice, that they might celebrate the name of God over the sustenance he gave from animals fit for food. But your God is one God. Submit then your wills to him in Islam, and give thou the good news to those who humble themselves, to those whose hearts when God is mentioned and filled with fear, who show patient perseverance over their afflictions, keep up regular prayer, and spend in charity out of what we have bestowed upon them. The sacrificial camels we have made for you, as among the symbols from good in them, is much good for you, and pronounce the name of God over them, and they line up for sacrifice. When they are down on their sides after slaughter. Eat ye thereof, and feed such as beg not, but live in contentment and such as beg with due humility. Thus have we made animals subject to you, that you may be grateful. It is not their meat, nor their blood that reaches God. It is your piety It is your piety that reaches him. He has thus made them subject to you, that you may glorify God for his guidance to you and proclaim the good news to all who do right. Verily God will defend from ill those who believe. Verily God loveth not, and that is a traitor to faith or shows ingratitude. To those who against whom war is made, permission is given to fight because they are wrong, and verily God is most powerful for their aid. They are those who have been expelled from their homes in defiance of right, for no cause except that they say our Lord is God. Did not God check one set of people by means of another? There would surely have been pulled down monstrous churches, synagogues and mosques in which the name of God is commemorated in abundant measure. God will certainly aid those who aid his cause, for verily God is full of strength, exalted in might, able to enforce his will. They are those who, if we establish them in the land, establish regular prayer and give regular charity, enjoy the right and forbid wrong. With God rests the end and decision of all affairs. If they treat thy mission as false, so did the peoples before them with their prophets, the people of Noah and Ad and Thamud, those of Abraham and Lot, and the companions of a maiden, and the companions of a maiden people, and those who was rejected in the same way. But I granted respite to the unbelievers and and only after that did I punish them. But how terrible was my rejection of them. How many populations have we destroyed which were given to a wrongdoing? They tumbled down on their roofs. And how many wells are lying idle and neglected, and castles lofty well built? Do they not travel through the land? Do they not travel through the land, so that their hearts and minds may thus learn wisdom, and their ears may thus learn to hear? Truly it is not their eyes that are blind, but their hearts which are in their breasts. Yet they ask thee to hasten on the punishment, but God will not fail in his promise. Verily a day in the sight of thy Lord is like 1,000 years of your reckoning. And to how many populations did I give respite which were given to wrongdoing? In the end I punish them. To me is the destination of all. Say, O men, I am sent to you only to give. Say, O men, I am sent to you only to give a clear warning. Those who believe and work righteousness, for them is forgiveness and a sustenance most generous. But those who strive against our signs to frustrate them, they will be companions of a fire. Never did we send an apostle or a prophet before thee, but when he framed the desire, Satan threw some vanity into his desire. But God will cancel anything vain that Satan throws in, and God will confirm and establish his signs. Though God is full of knowledge and wisdom, that he may make the suggestions thrown by Satan, but a trial for those in whose hearts are a disease and who are hardened of heart. Verily the wrongdoers are in a schism far from the truth, and that those on whom knowledge has been bestowed may learn that the Quran is the truth from thy Lord, and that they may believe therein, and their hearts may be humbly open to it. For verily God, the guide of those who believe, to a straight way. Those who reject faith will not cease to be in doubt concerning revelation, until the hour of judgment comes suddenly upon them, or there comes to them the penalty of a day of disaster, and that day the dominion will be that of God. He will judge between them. So those who believe and work righteous deeds will be in gardens of delight, and for those who reject faith and deny our sins, there will be a humiliating punishment. Those who leave their homes in the cause of God and are then slain or die on them will God bestow verily a goodly provision. Truly God is he who bestows the best provision. Verily he will admit them to a place with which they shall be well pleased. For God is all-knowing, most forbearing. That is so, and if one has retaliated to no greater extent than the injury he received, and is again set upon immediately, God will help him. For God is one that blots out sins and forgives again and again. That is because God merges night into day, and he merges day into night. And verily it is God who hears and sees all things. That is because God, he is the reality, and those who besides him whom they invoke, they are but vain falsehood. Verily God is he most high, most great. Seest thou not that God sends down rain from the sky, and forthwith the earth becomes clothed with green? For God is he who understands the finest mysteries, and is well acquainted with them. To him belongs all that is in the heavens and on earth. For verily God, he is free of all want, worthy of all praise. Seest thou not that God has made subject to you men, and that is on the earth, and the ships that sail through the sea by his command, and by his command he withholds the sky rain from falling on the earth except by his leave. For God is most kind and most merciful to man. It is he who gave you life, will cause you to die, and will again give you life. Truly man is a most ungrateful creature. To every people we have appointed rights and ceremonies which they must follow. Let them not then dispute with thee on the matter, but do thou invite them to thy Lord, for thou art assuredly in the right way. If they do wrangle with thee, say God knows best. What is it ye are doing? God will judge between you on the day of judgment concerning the matters in which you differ. Knowest thou not that God knows all that is in heaven and on earth? Indeed, it is all in a record, and that is easy for God. Yet they worship besides God things for which no authority has been sent down to them, and of which they have really no knowledge. For those that do wrong, there is no helper. When our clear signs are rehearsed to them, thou wilt notice a denial of faces and faces of the unbelievers. They nearly attack with violence those who rehearse our signs to them. Say, shall I tell you of something far worse than these signs? It is the fire of hell. God has promised it to the unbelievers, and evil is that destination. Of men, here is a parable set forth. Listen to it. Those on whom besides God ye cannot create even a fly, if they are all met together for the purpose, and if the fly should snatch away anything from them, they would have no power to release it from the fly. Feeble are those who petition, and those whom they petition. No just estimate have they made of God, for God is he who is strong and able to carry out his will. God chooses messengers from angels and from men, for God is he who hears and sees all things, and knows what is before them and what is behind them. And to God go back all questions for decision. Yet of ye who believe, bow down, prostrate yourselves, and adore your Lord, and do good that ye may prosper, and strive in his cause, and ye ought to strive with sincerity and under discipline. He has chosen you and has imposed no difficulties on you. In religion, what is the call of your father Abraham? It is he who has named you Muslims, both before and in this revelation, that the apostle may be a witness for you, and yet be witness for mankind. So establish regular prayer, give regular charity, and hold fast to God. He's your protector, the best to protect, and the best to help.